1800 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. Pakistan has called for transparent judicial inquiry under international scrutiny into the extrajudicial killing of innocent Kashmiris in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The Information Minister says Financial Action Task Force related bills recently passed by the joint sitting of the Parliament are very important to steer the country out of the grey list of the Financial Action Task Force. The Minister for Science and Technology says the government plans to create technology-based farms in the country to promote export-based agriculture. The Minister for Religious Affairs and Interfaith Harmony says minorities are enjoying equal rights in Pakistan with constitutional guarantees. 4 terrorists were killed in an operation by the security forces in Avaran district of Balochistan today. At the United Nations, Pakistan has renewed its call for redoubling efforts to achieve sustainable development goals. And now the news in detail. Pakistan has called for transparent judicial inquiry under international scrutiny into the extrajudicial killing of 3 innocent Kashmiris in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir 2 months back. In a statement, the Foreign Office spokesperson Zahid Hafiz Chaudhry said the Indian occupation forces had martyred 25-year-old Imtiaz Ahmed, 20-year-old Mohammad Abrar, and 16-year-old Abrar Ahmed in the so-called cordon and search operation in Shopaiyan on the 18th of July this year. The spokesperson said the Indian occupation army itself has admitted 2 months after the killings that the 3 innocent Kashmiri laborers were killed extrajudicially. He said it is an acknowledgement that the Indian occupation forces are guilty of war crimes in the occupied territory. The spokesperson urged the international community to take immediate cognizance of the 18th July incident as well as other acts indicative of the Rashtriya Savayam Sevak Sangh Bharatiya Janata Party regime's genocidal tendencies and hold it accountable for continuing crimes against the Kashmiri people. He said India has taken its brutalization of innocent Kashmiris to a new level since its illegal and unilateral actions of 5th August last year. The spokesperson pointed out that more than 300, mostly young Kashmiris, have been extrajudicially killed by the Indian occupation forces in fake encounters and staged cordon and search operations in the occupied territory during the past 1 year. The President, Dr. Arif Alvi, says his telephonic conversation with his Turkmen counterpart, Kurban Gule Berdi Muhammadov, was very productive. In a tweet today, Dr. Arif Alvi said he was pleased to talk to the President of Turkmenistan yesterday. He said they advanced the friendly discussion held between them in Baku. The Minister for Science and Technology, Chaudhry Fawad Hussain, says the government plans to create technology-based farms in the country to promote export-based agriculture. Talking to APP in Islamabad, he said initially 500 technology-based farms would be established under the novel project of precision agriculture. He said under the project, 2, 5 and 12.5 acres farms would be given technology packages including drones, water sensors, pesticides, sensors, packaging facility, and selection and other facilities. The minister said the agriculture sector is the backbone of Pakistan's economy and it can contribute a big share in gross development product through adopting modern technology. This is Radio Pakistan. The chairman, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor Authority, retired Lieutenant General Asim Salim Bajwa, says Orange Train project will be launched soon in Lahore. In a tweet today, he said technology issues of the project have been resolved and fare has also been decided. He said trial runs of the train are underway while hiring process for the project is in progress. The Federal Minister for Religious Affairs and Interfaith Harmony, Nurul Haq Qadri, says minorities are enjoying equal rights under the Constitution of Pakistan, which guarantees complete safety and security to them. Addressing a seminar in Lahore today, he said the situation regarding interfaith harmony has improved in the country due to effective policies of the government. The minister urged the ulama and scholars from all schools of thought to play their significant role in promoting religious harmony in the country. He said worship places of minority communities living in the country pose no threat to Islam. 645 new cases of coronavirus have surfaced in the country after tests of 35,720 people over the last 24 hours. 7 deaths have also been reported from the virus during this period. According to the latest statistics, 292,044 people have so far recovered from the infection. There are now 6,572 active cases in the country. A contingent of the Pakistan Armed Forces participated in the opening ceremony of multinational military exercise Kafkas 2020 at Astrakhan in Russia today. Director General ISPR Major General Babar Iftikhar said Kafkas 2020 exercises aimed at assessing the ability of troops to react to various challenges and learn from each other's experiences. The week-long exercise will commence from Monday. 4 terrorists were killed in an intelligence-based operation by the security forces in central Makran range of Avaran district in Balochistan today. According to ISPR, a large cache of arms, ammunition as well as communication equipment was recovered from the operation. Multiple hideouts and administrative camps of the terrorists were also destroyed. At the United Nations, Pakistan has renewed its call for redoubling efforts to achieve sustainable development goals aimed at ending poverty, fighting inequalities, and tackling climate change. The call was given by Pakistan's permanent representative to the United Nations and the President of United Nations Economic and Social Council, Munir Akram, while speaking at a high-level side event of the General Assembly. Munir Akram underscored that highest priority is to control coronavirus pandemic, which has inflicted unparalleled human suffering. He also stressed the need to find ways to bridge the digital divide between the developed and developing countries. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, political analysts, Kashmir watchers and observers have said the ongoing use of pellet-firing shotguns by the Indian troops in the territory constitutes a war crime. Talking to Kashmir Media Service over telephone from Srinagar while seeking anonymity due to reprisal from the Indian authorities, they said the people of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir are not just symbols of injustice, but they're also living in terrible pain. They said Kashmiri people also have rights under international law, but their rights are being consistently violated by the Indian regime. They said as far as international law is concerned, the position is very simple, as there is no legal regime which permits a state to routinely disperse crowds of civilians by firing shotguns at them. In Afghanistan, 13 people, including a deputy provincial police chief, 8 Taliban and 5 security personnel have been killed during 3 separate incidents of violence. In one incident, 3 police personnel and 3 Taliban were killed during a clash in Kunduz district. In another incident, 2 army soldiers and 5 militants were killed during a clash in Takhar province. The Deputy Provincial Police Chief of Paktika, Colonel Muhammad Asif Tohi, was killed in a roadside bomb in Paktika province planted by the Taliban. China stamps the United States' action to ban downloads of TikTok and WeChat. In a statement, the Chinese Ministry of Commerce condemned Washington's decision and warned of necessary measures to safeguard the interests of its companies. And finally, the weather. Hot and dry weather is likely to prevail over most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. To end the news, here once again are some of the headlines. Pakistan has called for a transparent judicial inquiry under international scrutiny into the extrajudicial killing of innocent Kashmiris in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Information Minister says Financial Action Task Force related bills recently passed by the joint sitting of the Parliament are very important to steer the country out of the grey list of the Financial Action Task Force. Those were some of the headlines, and that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link, facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.